Hi guys, Deluded Gooner. Some of the abuse Arsene Wenger is getting on social media is damn right disrespectful, just abusive and hurtful, and not how we should be treating. Any manager shouldn't be treated like that, but especially someone who's given his all to our team, regardless of what you got to say to him. Regardless of what you got to say to him, I've seen things like he's being called a fraud, he's being called this, that. How can you label a man a fraud that came here, gave Ferguson something to think about, came here with revolutionary dietary methods, coaching methods that were copied on a widespread basis with innovative player development programs. Players, ex and current players speak highly of him. Managers speak highly of him. The man was an invincible, multiple trophy winner. If he's a fraud, then we're all frauds in our professions. Then I think we're getting caught up. If you say he's past it, fine. If you say he can't lead us any further, fine. But Wenger is definitely not a fraud, and he's definitely never been a fraud managing Arsenal Football Club. Let's get into it. From the start to 05, I'm not going to get into the micro. Let's just look at the macro. From the start of his tenure to 05, spoiled us, gave us a certain pedigree of players, gave us invincibles, won us a league, was constantly getting players from not necessarily known countries or known clubs, making them into stars. We all know stadium business. He had a hand in suggesting the stadium is common knowledge. 5-year deal to get a loan bank from the loan, common knowledge. 06 to 05 will go down. Trust me, it will go down as his biggest managerial achievement. In 10 or 20 years, it will be paraded what this guy did for this club. I can't tell you how much it means. Don't get me wrong, in that period we should have won 07 to 08 season, we should have won the league, but for the large part, what he did, keeping us competitive, keeping us going commercially and competitively, regardless of how crap we was, we've got to acknowledge that. Was I happy with it? No, but we've got to acknowledge that. Now, my biggest problem with Wenger is from 013 onwards. Like I've said, praised him for his previous work, but the 013 period signalled a change. We went and got Ozil for how much? 40 something million. Now it doesn't mean we don't mean we have the City money, the Chelsea money, the United money, but it does signal that we can, when we see a player we can buy competitively. Sure, we'll be blown out of the market sometimes by bigger bids and better wages, but it shows that we can offer competitive wages and transfer fees. It shows that we can use our scouting team, who I believe don't do their jobs enough, to go and find players. So I'm very harsh on the players from there. And I looked at it as, anyone who knows me knows I'm a big fan of 3-year cycles. Go and do your research. Teams to develop typically need 3 years. So we look at it. Ozil comes in. We win the FA Cup that year. The second year, I'm looking at it. You can quote me. You can ask my friends. I said we'd finish second or third the year Leicester won the league. Of course, I didn't know Leicester was going to win the league. But I said we compete. Fast forward, Leicester won the league, blew us out by 10 points. Small games, we threw it away. I looked at it as, yeah, the boys might see where they went wrong, remember this hurt, remember this pain, and take it into the following campaign, which is this year. Now, we went in the summer, we got Xhaka, who was talked about as this and that. I believe he's good. We went and bought Perez. Team looked healthy. We're out of the title race arguably before we was last year. So my problem is, with the 3-year cycle and plan, the squad where we are, for the large part, we've shown we can adapt and things, but we haven't done it for the large part. You have to wonder, do they need a change? Do the players need a different voice to listen to? Do some players need the bubble to be burst? Some players, I'm not going to name them, that gets preferential treatment. Do they need to be woken up? Do the players need to buy into someone else? Things like that. Of course, his stubbornness, and to a degree, he is outdated in regards to the transfers and stuff like that. He did spend a lot of money in the summer. I'll give him that, but you have to look at the player recruited. He is stuck in his own ways. We've spoken about how in previous videos how he believes in players too much. So there's a lot of shortcomings for Arsene Wenger, and I am harshing him from 13 onwards. But regardless, he deserves better. He deserves respect. People can say, and it is true to a degree, he is comfortable in this position. Of course he's going to be comfortable because we've got an incompetent board. You look at it like this. The reality is Wenger's had to be an economist. He's had to be a financial planner for us. He's had to do so many things above being a manager. So what does that say? He's doing a lot of things that are above his pay grade and what he's not in his pay description. So that shows how incompetent the board are, how stupid the board are, how lazy they are, that one manager can have so much influence on a football club beyond being a manager. It's got to the point, it's not an easy fix as to Wenger out and it's going to be fixed. There's fundamental problems in this club. I'm on the small minority. I believe Wenger, there's a case for him to sign a new deal. There's a case for him to go. I've talked about them in both my videos. But regardless, he needs to be retained in this club in some sort of capacity. Because regardless of what you say and all the shortcomings for him, there's nothing that has ever been in dispute, or people can dispute, that he loves this club, regardless of how much he gets paid and things like that. He loves the club, regardless of whatever reasons you may believe for turning down clubs. He's turned down the best national teams and club sides to stay here, regardless of that being selfish or not. He's helped to grow the club. We have fantastic resources. Maybe it might be time to step down, but the man needs more respect. Like, he's been a pioneer. All you need to do is listen to how previous managers and players speak of him, even players that he didn't manage. Regardless of, look at it like this, regardless of how mediocre we've been for how many years and not winning stuff, and Wenger himself being mediocre, why is he still spoken about, so highly regarded? Some of the best managers that are currently managing at clubs and people called for to manage at Arsenal rate Arsene Wenger highly. So what does that say? All you need to do is ask people like George Weah what Wenger did for them. Wenger's influence is beyond being a footballer. Football manager. He's been a philosopher. He's been a philanthropist. He's been a life coach. Just listen to his inspirational quotes and how he looks at life. Listen to how he speaks on refugees. He's been a facilitator. He sees the good in men. Regardless of what you think about him and his shortcomings, there's no doubt the man needs respect. The man is a club legend. Even if he is stepping down, like some reports say, it's 50-50. If he is stepping down, even more reason to respect him and get behind him. Look how much years service he's given to us. Arsene knows best, or whatever they call it, and the Wenger out brigade, or whatever I think it's a farce, and it just adds to our club looking stupid. Both of you need to come together and get behind the manager, regardless of what you think. On paper, he is stepping down at the end of the year, regardless of playing coy or whatnot. Let's just look at the facts. His contract is up. Stand behind him, regardless of what you think of him. Get behind him. We know this is not the year we wanted. We know it's a joke. We know it's a broken record in how Arsenal's season goes. But the man deserves respect. He deserves it. There's no doubt about it. Sorry to waffle here, guys. Arsene Wenger deserves respect. Deludi Gunnar, I'm out.